All right, y'all, welcome. I'm really excited for this setup. We're in a vehicle, and I am here with the one, the only.
Shyanne Shogren.
And it's cool because we met basically, I think, a yearish ago. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe a little bit,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more.
Probably.
From a
Yeah.
from a job, and it was cool because I I think we were at a training, and then after the training, I was driving, and I seen her behind me, and she's whipping
No,
a
I was in
Miata.
front of you, wasn't I?
Oh, you.
And then you pulled up next to me.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay. And I was like, one, dope, dope Miata.
Yeah.
Two, girl driving Miata. I was already just blown away. I
Yeah.
was hyped. I was hyped. So then I think we ended up getting like our socials. I think Instagram.
That was so hard because I was like, "What's your name? What's your name?" And I couldn't hear you or anything.
Oh yeah, because we were
And
over by Home Depot.
And then I was like, "Okay, I'll look you up," because the light turned green, and I was like
Yeah.
looking you up, and I was like, "I don't remember nothing." Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think eventually we followed each other, and then we were gonna try to go to some meets, but Lawrence doesn't really have any meets.
yeah,
And then I think we saw each other again at like the next meeting or something.
yeah,
But super cool because she is someone who's helped with Landlocked Thrift. She has been someone who has been super open and super just. I think you post a lot of positivity, and I think you post a lot of what you believe in, whether that's going against the grain or not. I think you really stand 10 toes down for what you believe in.
Thank you.
And I'm like, that's super dope, and it means a lot that you've always supported and helped. So I'm excited also that you are on the I Had No Idea podcast now.
Yes, I've been wanting to do this for a while, actually.
And big shout out, she also got me tea.
I got myself coffee.
So let's get into it. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
What's it been like for you? And this past year since I've known you, has there been some challenges? Has there been some struggles? Has there been some moments in the past year? Because we're coming up on the end of 2024, which is insane. That has really kind of changed you. And can you, I guess, kind of tell us about it?
There's been actually a lot.
A lot
this last year. Lots of different, like, I was in a couple different relationships. Some of them ended horribly.
Oh no.
Some of them who I was in, it was not healthy either. Okay. And 10 days ago, I actually recently lost my stepdad to suicide. 10 days ago today.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. Like, it's really, it's difficult. But I've had friends who have tried to commit or have committed as well, and so I have like gone through the grieving process of different things, and it's still fresh, it's still new, but I also know that every time that happens, like, it's a growing experience for me for sure. It does suck, but at that point, especially with grief, you just have to accept it at some point and then learn from it. Especially with, like, specifically suicide, it can be it's really hard to deal with, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, I definitely had no idea about that.
Yeah.
I'm super sorry for your loss, and see, now this is where I don't know what to say next. Because when people are like, sometimes when I tell people I've lost people, they say like, I'm so sorry, and it's kind of just, it's almost I compare it to, hey, how you doing? Good. How you doing? Good.
Yeah.
You know how it's just kind of like the surface, but because it's hard because you don't want to be insensitive, but you also don't want to be like over the oh my gosh. Yeah.
I agree. It's definitely difficult. Even I, who have lost like a lot of people, I still don't know how to like respond to it.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm the type of person who, it's like, I'll say it because I know the people around me, like especially like really close friends or family, should know what's going on. If I can't respond or anything, I would like them to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my friends, including my best friend, actually is a psychology major, and so we talk about it.
Nice.
But I still don't really know how to respond to it. Personally, for me, I don't like the whole like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I normally just say like, hey, I'm here for you. Make sure you get the time that you need right now, and stuff like that. But it definitely is a difficult situation for sure.
Yeah.
But I consider any learning experience like that, or any experience like that, as a learning experience.
Yeah.
For sure.
I really like how you said I'm here for you. I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
So I'm here for you if you ever need someone to
Mm-hmm.
talk to or reach out. Um, what has there been things besides talking to friends that you've done to kind of help with the past 10 days? Have you been like drawing or walking or?
Yes. I really have been listening to a lot of music.
Mm,
I know a lot of times with my grief, like everyone grieves so differently,
yeah.
and different circumstances too. It's different, you
Hmm.
know. For me personally, um, I found out that a lot of times I'm in a state of shock for a while,
Mm,
and then I'll start like fully grieving.
mm,
So what I do is I've been listening to a lot of music. I've been just cleaning
mm,
like crazy,
mm-hmm.
just like deep cleaning everything, um, and stuff like that. And I also draw. I do like arts, and I just try to be outside as
Yeah.
much as possible, and just appreciate like everything around me. Like I'll
Yeah.
just like look at the leaves, look at the nature, especially now since it's fall.
Hmm.
Like I like seeing the pretty colors, a lot like the leaves falling and stuff. Just try to be as grateful as possible to be in the present and be in the present
Hmm.
specifically. Um, and that's what one of the things that I think works best for me. And
Mm,
it works differently for everyone,
hmm.
and that one helps me cope the most, I think.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
I'm reading this book right now called The Depression Cure
Mhm.
by Dr. Lallardi. He's actually a psychology teacher at KU.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think he has a few TED talks online too. Really
Mhm.
intelligent person. And
You have to send me the links.
yeah, I will. And it's cool because he talks about in the book how you so like for my instance, the saddest I've ever been was when my brother passed away. But what happens and what I've had in my life is if I get sad, then my sadness goes straight to that. So it doesn't go from just like, oh, I can just be sad about, if a dog passes away. It
Mhm.
goes from like, oh, I'm so sad the dog passes away, boom, goes straight down to like that depression, that lowness of my
Mm.
brother passed away.
Mhm.
And in his book, or in this one book he talks about how you have to really differentiate that. And I've been working on that, and I've found it very helpful
Mhm.
because it'll be about 2 years since my homie Jane passed away
Mhm.
on the day after Christmas, of the 26th of December. So about a month from now, it'll be two
Mhm.
years. And I've been really working on, you know, when I'm sad about James's passing, I'm sad about that passing. When I'm
Yeah.
sad about a past event, I'm sad about that. If I'm sad about, the business didn't do well this month or something, I'm sad about that. So now knowing that, I'm able to kind of compartmentalize
Mhm.
that a little bit better. So that's been super helpful. So that's been, I mean, his book is so full of so many helpful tips. So I'm super grateful that I've been reading that.
That's really interesting because
Hmm.
I think I do the same.
Hmm.
Where if um especially with the recent passing of my stepdad, I was like, damn, like it reminds me of when one of my best friends died and
Hmm.
stuff like that. Who I'm wearing right now. It's my dog Willie.
Oh.
He passed away, and I still I think I still like go back if I'm having like a rough day. I'm like, oh well, all this has happened
Hmm.
in like the last year, and I'm like, damn, like, and that's really interesting. I really want to know, like, I want to
Yeah.
watch the TED Talks and read it because
Yeah.
I think I think that's actually pretty common,
Yeah.
honestly. Is when you feel down, you start feeling everything that
Hmm.
made you down.
And it's cool because he also uses examples from like his teaching,
Mhm.
and he has, he does his own research, and then he also has the research that he gets from having the classes and having
Mhm.
multiple sessions, and then hearing and having the feedback, and then he also has private clients. So it's not like he's just a professor.
Yeah.
So he does all those other things. That's what I love, that he's so well versed and he has so much different things to pull from.
Yeah.
But what's your necklace? That's really cool.
Yes, it's actually an urn. It's a little urn. It's a butterfly with flowers. I'll show
Cute.
the camera.
Yeah, please do.
It's a cameo. I love cameos specifically.
It's a cameo.
Yeah, like the old vintage jewelry with like faces on it. Like I don't know exactly the type of material it is, but these were like the color of one of his eyes. Yeah, so one
Whoa.
of his eyes was light blue, and
Uh-huh.
then his other eye was like a darker blue with a
Okay.
light blue patch in it. And I don't know, it has his name on the back of it too.
Oh.
But I wear it specifically with grief. For me, I always felt almost guilty for like moving on.
Mm. Mhm.
And that was one of the things that kind of like it keeps me going is I have him right next to me, and I feel like I still have to deal with the guilt of moving on basically. But genuinely, I also realized recently, like, just because the grief doesn't feel as heavy doesn't mean that it's still not there, you know? Just because I shouldn't have to feel guilty for like still being alive and keep going and stuff like that. Because I found out too. I didn't find out, but I saw something, like it was somewhere I saw something, but they were comparing grief, and they were like, okay, this is grief, right? Put your hand like this, okay? And when you first feel grief, this is the jar it's in. So this is your emotions. But as human beings, we grow no matter what. And so when it's like this, it feels like it's everything. But as we grow, it's still the same size. It's still there, but you're just growing as a human being, you know? So it feels, the jar gets bigger, but it feels like it's less because the jar is bigger, you know?
No, that's awesome you say that, because my parents sent me something too where it's similar, where it's like a balloon in a box, and in the box sometimes the balloon will inflate or deflate or pop or let the air out, and then it kind of goes all the way around, and sometimes it feels like it's all the way to the brim of the box, and sometimes it's in like a small corner. So that's the same theory. And I love those because it helps me visualize it, and it helps me put a connection, because I'm such a hands-on learner. But back to what you were saying earlier, I want to say too, sometimes I have felt where if I don't think about someone that's passed every day, then I get guilty, or then I get upset. And then it also becomes something where I feel like I have to always think about them. You know what I mean? And then I get lost in that. So I'm glad you said that. And
it is difficult. I feel like in some circumstances, it feels almost like survival guilt, you know? And it feels like you should always think of them because they provided so much in your life. But if you think about who passed away, would they really want you to think about them constantly and not move on?
Facts, yeah.
And that was one of my things, was I was like, especially with my dog, especially with my stepdad who just recently passed, I know he would want me to be happy. And that's one thing, is I can still think about them and I still love them, but I need to focus on myself, because that's what they would want me to do.
Yeah, that's powerful. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think a lot about too of, if they were still here on this earth, and they saw me and they were like, I know the people that they were specifically, they'd be like, bro, what are you doing? Why are you crying? Like, let's go. Like, we're living. Like, this is life. Like, get up,
No, they would.
Or like, I don't want to see you like this. And I think a lot about, I've been working on the past few years of loving myself as much as I love the person in my life the most. So my parents, I have the father of my godchildren, I give so much respect to them. I give so much love, and those three people in my life are really the only people's opinions that have any kind of little bit of an ounce of, okay, I'm gonna actually listen to them. I'm not necessarily gonna do what they say or agree with them, but I'm gonna at least let it resonate inside. So the past few years, trying to do that to myself has been beautiful, because it's been uplifting. And it's like I'm taking care of myself. It's like I have all these plants, but I wasn't watering them. Now I'm watering them and nurturing them and watching them, and I get to see them grow, and I get to see how I'm feeling more like myself and feeling better. And I've come out of a very long depression for many years, and it's been, I mean, it's just a blossoming flower in the spring. So, with death, I know it's harder for everyone. What's something else in your life that has been a challenge, or that's been a hard situation that you weren't really sure if you were gonna be able to overcome, and you got through it, and what helped you? If you want to talk, if not,
I would love to talk about this actually. It doesn't have to be like death, right?
No, it could be anything.
So, what was it? 4 years ago in 2020.
Okay.
I crashed on my longboard.
Ooh.
and I have amnesia of the day, but I had a severe brain bleed and a severe TBI, which is
Whoa.
a traumatic brain injury. And I woke up in the hospital. I was taken to Overland Park Trauma Center, or the emergency room there.
Were you in Lawrence?
Yeah. Oh no, I was in Ottawa.
Oh, okay.
So they took me by ambulance up to
Dang.
like OP, right?
That's a drive.
Yeah. I don't remember. I just remember part of it, which I think, or it could have been just a dream.
Okay.
Like I don't know exactly if it was, because I had amnesia of it.
Okay.
But I remember I was in the ambulance partially, and they had a neck brace on me, and I'm just cracking jokes, right? Like I'm just making them laugh, and they're like, "You should wear a helmet." And I'm just cracking jokes. I'm like, "I'm not gonna wear a helmet. Look, I'm fine." Like all this. But afterwards, when I woke up, I was in the trauma center for 4 days, and when I fully like gained like consciousness, I could barely see, and I lost like almost all my hearing. It came back mostly, but I still have issues with a lot of my hearing, a lot of my sight. My personality changed. I had severe vertigo, and there was just a lot that changed.
Holy cow.
And because I have a big scar, I have a really cool big scar on the back of my head, but it was really difficult because you can't really see it, other than like the big blood like everywhere all over my hair. Like you couldn't really see what exactly it caused, like the damage.
Okay.
Like I said, my personality, I couldn't like be aware of things. Like my cognition of surrounding of like anything around me, I couldn't like process it, and it was like really overwhelming for a while. And I had like migraines for like 2 years straight.
Whoa.
It was a really difficult time because,
Yeah.
like I said, like you don't see it. Like with a broken arm, you can see it.
Mhm.
You can like go to like an X-ray or something like that. With a brain injury like that, you can't really like heal it necessarily. You can do steps that will make it better, but most of the time it's changed forever. And that was one thing that was really difficult, was accepting that I will never be the same as when I was. And I did get a lot better, but it took years for me to fully accept that I'm not the same person as I was. Like even now I still have trouble with like reading or like focusing and stuff. It's a lot better now. I have a lot less migraines. I went to physical therapy for like a lot of my vertigo and stuff like that. I got my crystals realigned. Did you know you have crystals in your ears?
What?
So the crystals are like, they're like, I believe they're called carbon crystals. They have like a big long name, but they're carbon, and they're in your ears. And a lot of times with brain injuries, when you like hit your head really hard, and this is a lot of cause of vertigo, is they get repositioned. So the crystals are in your ear, are like in your ear, and they tell you where you're at in space. So if they're not aligned, you have severe vertigo where you can't, like your brain can't process where it's at. So a lot of times you're just like super dizzy.
Whoa.
And so what they do is, I remember her doing this, and the first time she did it, I almost threw up because I was so dizzy. But it helped a lot. Is you kind of tilt your head and then you lean back, and it like puts the crystals back where it needs to be.
Whoa.
Isn't that cool? You have crystals in your ears?
I never knew that.
Yeah,
That's
so
insane.
that helped my vertigo, but I still have issues with like I have to grab something to ground myself if I need to like look up on things.
Really?
Because I will get like severe like vertigo. And it's also an issue too, because when you get vertigo, a lot of times you have like nausea, and you can't really control it. It's pretty cool though, when you do get vertigo, like really severe, you can see like their eyes just like moving. Like they're still, but they're like moving, but their eyes are just like moving too, because they just can't tell where they're at in space.
So no raves for you, probably.
Huh?
No raves.
Oh, I love raves. I want to go to a rave so bad.
Wait, what? But wait. What?
I have music headphones that I got received. So afterwards, everything was like really overstimulating.
Yeah.
Like even like my AC, like it had to be silent for me to sleep.
Really?
Because everything was so overwhelming. Because your brain can't process that.
Whoa.
So I have these musical headphones, and they cut out all like white noise.
Dang.
But you can hear like it's a lot less, but you can hear like music and stuff like that.
I was thinking about the lights, girl.
Oh.
Because don't they have
Oh
warnings that say, like,
yeah,
if
that
you have
is true.
vertigo
That is
or
true.
you
You just
have...
put sunglasses on. Oh,
Oh,
you're talking about
wow.
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I do actually. I don't do as well as I used to with lights, but definitely the lights do affect me sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Like at concerts and stuff, and I just kind of close my eyes and just like feel it out. But that was it was really hard because,
Yeah.
like I said, like I keep reiterating, people like don't know. The only person who knows exactly what changed is you, and it's really hard to explain exactly what's going on.
So when you first woke up, you couldn't really see or hear?
No, I didn't even remember my name.
Oh.
I didn't remember where I was.
But you remember waking up?
I do remember waking up. I was watching Korean baseball at 4 a.m. I don't know, but
in the Overland Park Hospital.
I literally woke up. Well, before that, I remember when I slightly woke up and I went back to sleep. Is I looked to the nurse who was helping me and I said, "I'm gonna throw up." And she's like, "It's okay. Like you can throw up." I said, "I'm gonna throw up right now, please." And I'm throwing up in the bag. And she's like rubbing my back and she was so sweet. She's like, "It's okay." And I was like, "I'm so sorry." And I'm like, it's between like throw ups. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like but she was so sweet. But then I remember when I fully woke up, I was like 4 a.m. and the TV's like right in front of me, and it's just Korean baseball.
Wow.
It was actually pretty entertaining. I would watch it again.
So I've actually been in a Korean baseball game.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like the cheerleaders? You guys know like
yeah, I've never seen, this is so crazy, I've never seen cheerleaders dancing that wasn't sexual. Their movements were not the game that we were at. It was so cool to see them dance, but it wasn't, they weren't shaking ass, they weren't shaking certain things. It was really cool. I'd never seen it before. So
they get paid a lot.
They do?
Yo, if you get like really up there, and their dances, a lot of times there's that one dance, I don't know if you see on TikTok, where it's like that really weird song, they just like go like this the whole time. They get paid like millions.
Dang.
Yeah.
Hey, Korea, I'm coming back. I'm gonna be
I want to go to Korea.
It's crazy.
I want to go to the nightlife.
Yeah. I didn't get to experience that.
So I can have like a seizure during the lights.
No, we don't want that. We don't want that. So how long until you started to feel more like yourself?
So it was actually a really difficult situation because I lost the part of my sight and my hearing. I also got COVID, which COVID actually attacks the brain. So I made really good progress, and that's the main thing you want to do is make really good progress at the beginning.
Sorry, I feel like I'm joking. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt your story.
No, you're fine. Cut it out.
I think my tea went down the wrong pipe or 3.
Let's take a break.
That cough also made me hot. Oh, I can pause it.
Yes.
Ready?
So after my head injury, I got COVID, and COVID, I don't know if you know this, but COVID actually attacks the brain.
Okay.
And so the biggest thing to do when you have like a severe head injury or any head injury is you want to get as much progress in as quick as possible, because in a couple years it's a lot harder to do. So basically what happens with a brain injury is the brain tissue that was damaged dies.
Whoa.
And what you do is you just rewire your brain. That's basically what happens, is you're just rewiring your brain to function as it was before.
Okay.
But COVID, so I made really good progress like a couple months in. I was doing really good. Then I got COVID. Now, COVID, like I said, attacks the brain. So it washed all of my progress away.
Oh.
And I think it literally was like the same as when I got out of the hospital. And so COVID also so I already was having issues with my sight and my hearing. COVID also took away my smell and my taste for years later. Like I didn't get it back for like over a year, but when I got it back for another year, everything tasted and smelled like chemicals.
Ew.
And the issue is because I was getting my smell back, when I was starting to get it back, my dog passed away. And he passed away with kidney failure. And with kidney failure, especially in dogs, they smell like ammonia. So right when I got my smell back, I just smelled ammonia because my dog smelled like ammonia. And like I think like over a year, I only smelled ammonia. So it was really difficult because I was just reminded of my dog who passed away.
And that's your strongest sense.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was really hard to cope with everything. Like, I lost my smell, my taste, part of my sight, most of my hearing. I got nearly everything back. There's still some things that are an issue. Let's go.
Oh wait, sorry.
Oh.
My microphone is still on the.
Oh.
I just realized that.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. So I really hope that the audio is still okay.
It's okay, even if it doesn't, and you can just cut it out.
I apologize. Okay. Thank you.
So,
we're back.
So, yeah. The way I've been like coping with it, at first I really just fell apart.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I just fell apart, and I had to lose my job too because it was too overwhelming, and they didn't let me take time off to take care of my dying dog.
Was this 2022?
This is 2020.
Still 2020.
Yeah, this is all in 2020.
Wow, okay.
So it was all back to back to back.
Dang.
And it was a pretty difficult time. So there was a couple months where I had enough savings that I couldn't even work because my head was so bad too. Yeah. I just rotted in bed. Genuinely, I didn't do anything. It was really hard for me to cope with everything that happened. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I'm kind of glad I did, because I'm glad I fell apart, but I got myself up.
Hell yeah.
So I got a job, and I worked really hard, and I saved up a lot of money, and then I joined AmeriCorps. And AmeriCorps, I got to travel the country, do NCCC. That's one of my goals. And because I feel like with my head injury, with my best friend passing, my dog Willie, and a lot of other things that I coped with, it really humbled me, genuinely. And as an 18-year-old, I believe, 18, 19-year-old, no, I don't remember. I was like a teenager, right? Like late teens. But at that point, I feel like a lot of people, especially at that age, you don't understand your mortality. Mm-hmm. And it really humbled me to understand that I'm mortal and I could die at any moment. Yeah. And it humbled me because I was like, so much shit has gone down, and I still worked very hard to get to the point where I am, that it made me pursue my dreams of doing like AmeriCorps and stuff. So I am still very thankful for experiencing that, because I have been to one of the lowest points of my life, and I still found a way to get out of it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
A lot of times that helped me was like finding hobbies that I really enjoyed. And that was a lot of hobbies that I did in the past, like sewing, crocheting, art. I love art, anime, music. I got really into cars. Yeah, I got my Miata. Yeah, I got my Miata, so I got really obsessed with that. And when I got my Miata, I was like, I need money. I need money to update
modify
him.
It.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's
awesome.
That's it, you know. Right now, for me to cope, it's really working out and going outside, trying to stay focused on just everything around me and trying to be grateful and being the healthiest I can be, mentally, physically, spiritually.
Yeah,
emotionally.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Good for you. I'm proud of you. That's a hell of a year.
Yeah, it was a tough year.
On top of like lockdown and everything going on.
Oh yeah, and I was technically an essential worker at the time. And yeah. So
was your AmeriCorps or AmeriCorps?
It's AmeriCorps.
AmeriCorps, excuse me.
It's AmeriCorps, yeah. We got trained on that. They would yell at you if you called it AmeriCorps.
Was that a 2-year thing for you, or is it 1 year?
It's technically 10 to 11 months.
Oh, okay.
So I was in the branch of NCCC. And then it can also, NCCC is a specific, we were in traditional NCCC, so there's NCCC FEMA as well, but we were in traditional NCCC. That was, I believe ours was technically 10 months.
Cool.
And
I told you I had a family member that was in it.
Really?
But they did it a while ago.
They did it in the southern region, right? Yeah, I was in the Pacific region, which I love the Pacific region.
Yeah.
Like,
that'd be the best. That'd be the best.
Yeah, and they let you, the Pacific region's more loose on like their like protocol stuff, so I could have colored hair. Technically, cool. You're not allowed to have hoops, which I have 3. I got this one actually there. Nice. They're not allowed to have hoops because of hard machinery or something like that. Yeah. But they didn't really care. And I also had colored hair.
What about hoops in the ears?
Yeah, you're technically not, like, because a lot of times we would be like digging holes, literally using chainsaws to cut down trees and stuff like that. getting dead trees out of the way for like forest fires and stuff.
Mm.
A lot of times, like because you're working with such heavy machinery, like you're not allowed to have that. I never had an issue with it. No one said anything, so I still wore mine. If my nose got ripped out, that's on me. It's on me.
Bleeding out. Hey, can we get some backup?
Hey, like, please.
That's insane.
Yeah.
What can you expand on that experience? And what was one of the hardest moments in that? And because when you're out there, you're really you're working most of the day.
Yeah.
Outside a lot of it. And then you're not really getting food and shelter, but then on top of that, they're not really paying you very much, right?
No.
Yeah.
So you would work about 40-50 hours during the week, but you would also have to complete 80 hours your entire service. So you have to graduate with 1,700 hours, which is pretty easy in Triple C. But you would also have to get an 80 hours of that 1,700 hours. 80 of that would have to be ISPs, which is you would have to go and volunteer on the weekends. So a lot of times you wouldn't even have rest on the weekends. You would have to, and it couldn't be with the nonprofit you were working with. It had to be a nonprofit or like a government organization outside of the one that your sponsor is.
Wow.
That you're working with at the time.
And you had to find it.
Yeah, we had to find it.
Dang.
And I was the pickle, so it's the PCL.
You're the pickle?
Yeah, I was the pickle. I don't remember what pickle standard for. It's PCL. I was the hawk and the pickle. So the hawk does like PT during the week, and then the pickle finds out like the ISP times that you can go.
Okay.
And a lot of times you were in these rural areas. So our first one was in Clayton, Idaho, which is the population of 8.
8?
Yep.
So they have a post office and that's it?
Yeah. And they had a bar too. Apparently someone got murdered there. That was crazy.
So there used to be 9.
It was crazy. No, literally. There was also a murder going on. And we were in Idaho during there was a big like suicide murder. We weren't for sure if it was there. Everyone was like they probably got killed. But then that was also when that Idaho, the college kids who got murdered in Idaho was going on.
If there's 8 in a town, how do they not know who it was?
Because there's also Chalice. So Chalice is like outside. It's like 30 minutes, which it was also really interesting because I'm from a small town. It was like less than 20 homes. And a lot of these kids are like from like kids. A lot of my teammates, adults, are from like Nolens, New Orleans. She told me to call it Nolens. Nolens? You call it Nolens?
Nolens?
Philadelphia. Like big and Baltimore and like Washington DC, like they're from big cities. I was the only person who like was raised in the country, and so they were like, I can't DoorDash stuff here, and I was like, no, like you have to drive 30 minutes just to get to the grocery store. It was like really cool to see like how different everyone lives, you know.
Did they know where Kansas was on a map?
Yeah, they did.
They did?
There was someone who was from South Dakota. Well, no, actually, one of my teammates, I love her. We kept saying there was there's West Virginia and Virginia, and 2 of our members were from like Northern Virginia, and so she thought for the longest time there was a North Virginia. Wow. And we kept telling her there was a North Virginia, and she believed it.
Did you ever tell her that y'all were capping?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, girl. Like, her name's Mimi. I love Mimi."
She never Googled it and was
no. But we kept
convincing.
She was pretty gullible, like genuinely. But she was one of the sweetest ones on the team. Genuinely.
Shout out Mimi.
Shout out Mimi. But she's someone from Nolens. No, but genuinely, like you don't have much time. Yeah. And the issue, I think, the biggest issue in Triple C is. Our team was the biggest. No one left from our team. That's pretty common. If like we normally have like 8 or 9 people in the team, normally 8, including the TL, the team leader. Shout out Michael. Love you, Michael. He's probably not watching this. He doesn't have social media at all. Like
send it to him. Email it to him.
I will.
Hello, team leader.
I think he's still in Spain actually. He's anyways. That's off topic. What was I saying?
Team lead. There's usually 8 or 9 of y'all, and none of y'all left.
Yes, none of us left. There was only 2 teams that no one left. We actually got an extra member, Ahana. She's actually from Nigeria, and she was so like genuinely. I've never met like someone so kind as her.
Oh.
Like, she was so nice, and she made Nigerian food for her. Oh
Ooh.
my god, so fucking good. It was legit so good.
That's awesome.
But that's one of the issues, is that you're working with the same people, you're living with the same people, you're traveling with the same people for 10 months straight. And you're not allowed, you have to have 2 people to drive the van. You
Okay.
can't drive it alone. So you are with these people constantly. Like, genuinely constantly.
Oh, so where you go, someone has to go with.
Yes.
Oh.
Unless you're like in the city, which we got stationed in Sacramento, which is our home base, which was nice because we could Uber, we could like walk places. I had like a couple friends there that I could hang out with, which was a good break too. But a lot of times you don't know housing situations either. So in Sacramento it was great because it was an old Air Force base, and you have your own dorm basically. You share a bathroom, but you basically have like your own dorm.
That's cool.
But in when we were in Twisby, we would call it, we're getting Twisby and Twist. Anyways, Washington, it was like really up north, almost close to the Canadian border. We had a house. And so there was, I believe,
Baller.
we had 2 rooms, 1 big living room, 1 bathroom for 10 people.
Oh.
10 people.
Oh.
And a lot of times, like, even like you could literally sleep on cots in the basement of a church, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like you're like with these people constantly. And personalities don't always mix well.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of conflicts already, because as I'm sure a lot of people, even with roommates, sometimes that's an issue.
Yeah.
So traveling, eating, doing this really stressful work with 10 people for 10 months straight can be really, really stressful. I think that was the biggest issue, was a lot of times emotions get heightened and we say things that we shouldn't, you know? I think that was the hardest part. I genuinely almost quit because I had some conflicts with a lot of people. I still love genuinely all of them. It's a tough situation, but it was worth it. Genuinely, it was so much fun. I have a lot of connections like on the West Coast now, which is really cool. Like I can work at like a summer camp up in Washington.
Hey.
One of my old sponsors, she said that I could like sleep on her couch or if I needed to. I hung out with our old sponsor from Sacramento after we graduated. He bought me, so we're not allowed to drink with our sponsors or do anything. We're technically not even allowed to smoke weed or anything, even if it's legal in the state, because it's a federal thing. And so after I graduated, he bought me weed. He brought me to the first dispensary. He got me drunk, and we were just hanging out, you know, shooting the shit, and it was just like really genuinely fun. Like I have some really good people up in the West Coast now.
If my parents didn't live in Kansas, I'd be in the Pacific Northwest, I think, because I went up there to visit because I was about to move there.
Where at?
Specifically like Tacoma, Seattle, and oh my goodness, it was, not only was it cool because there was mountains and water and people and it was lively. And Seattle has a huge Asian population, but the car scene, oh my goodness, I would just hear I'd turn around, I'd be like, what the heck? And then I'd hear it again like in front of me, and then I'd hear like a Subaru, and then I would see like 4 S2000s like all tailing each other. And I'm like, yo, what?
No, it's so cool.
And they have seafood, and they have oh my goodness,
Yeah, the sushi in Seattle was so good.
Yeah.
Especially, I had it in Santa Monica. So good. I'm a sushi person. I love sushi.
Yeah.
But I would love to live on the Pacific region for sure.
And it's really cool too because if I was up there, Alaska is my favorite place I've ever been.
I haven't been yet.
It's the only place I've ever been that I've cried because of the beauty.
Really? I always wanted to go.
It's stunning. So it's only 1 flight from Seattle up there. So, and then it's also only 1 flight from up there to Kansas City.
Yeah.
So I could always come back to see the parents. But have you been to that new sushi spot in Lawrence, the one downtown? It's
Concept 23? Oh, all you can eat. All you can eat? Where?
Literally en masse. My dad and I went there recently.
Is it the Gaia? Right? Gaia sushi?
Maybe.
I think it is. I didn't try the all you can eat, but I did try the sushi. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and well, so you know the deal for lunch. I think it's like $20 or $25, and for dinner I think it's like 30 or something. But yeah, that
sounds really good. I wanted to do the all you can eat.
Yeah.
You know what we needed in Lawrence though?
What?
Korean barbecue.
Yeah. Have you been to the Korean restaurant downtown?
Which one? Oh, I haven't yet. I've been wanting to go, but I want Korean barbecue specifically.
Yeah. Korean barbecue.
Which one? Because there's that one down here.
Yeah, so it's the one that's...
And then there's one up there.
It's the one that used to be Wake the Dead. I don't remember the name of it. but they have really good chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they also have really good noodles.
It's called Mani, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's also the one over by on the other side of town, the west side, but that's a chain. And that one's like fried chicken, Korean fried chicken.
It's not as good. I've been wanting to go though.
Yeah, that one's pretty
good. Is it Manny or Mani? I don't know, but it sounds good.
I should know, but yeah, I don't.
Every year I go to Korean barbecue for my birthday.
Stop.
There's an all-you-can-eat one up in Kansas City.
That's what I do.
No, I literally love Korean barbecue.
Korean barbecue is my second favorite food of all time.
Wait, you didn't tell me your zodiac sign. When's your birthday?
Oh yeah. Wait, you have to guess. To see, cause okay, I'll be honest.
Are you an Aries?
Sometimes I feel like people be capping.
Capping about what?
People be capping about, oh, I know what you are. So
I don't know what you are though.
So that's why I want to ask you.
I feel like your rising's like low-key Gemini, but I feel like you're either, for some reason I'm feeling Virgo.
You know what my birthday is?
No, I don't.
Okay, so please guess my main one.
I think your rising's Gemini, but for some reason I know you're not a Virgo, but I feel like you're a Virgo. But genuinely, your personality gives me Libra.
Well, I had to break to you. I'm neither of the two.
Which one are you?
I'm neither.
Which one are you?
Oh, I'm Aquarius.
What's your birthday? February 4th.
I'm right in the middle. I'm January 30th.
January 30th. Oh. My dad's an Aquarius.
Really?
Yeah. You guys are the least common zodiac sign of all of them.
What do you mean?
There's you're the most like
there's
quantity of zodiac signs.
Yo.
Does that make sense? Like you're the rarest. You're the rarest of all of them. Actually.
Let's go.
I believe Scorpios are the number one, like most popular. But Scorpios actually most likely they're conceived on Valentine's Day.
I was just gonna say, are they one of the ones?
Yeah. Okay,
so does Aquarius align with who you know me
with
as?
your fit right now? Yeah.
What's your dad wear this?
Lucky my dad would actually wear that.
Hey, got the camo pants. Got some old white New Balances that have oil on the bottom now. Got a Shark Surf Shop shirt, and then got the usual jewelry on, and then the Oakleys that are beat, that are barely staying alive, and then a corduroy vintage hat.
My dad's a very unique person. Well, not that unique. You know, like those. So he was born in like the 60s, but he grew up in the 70s, and he sounds like he's high all the time, and he's got long, like kind of long hair.
Gray?
Like no, it's like still like blondish. And he talks like this, like all the time, and you think he's high. Like genuinely, he coached all of my friends in like elementary school. Everyone thought he was smoking weed. He hasn't smoked weed since the 70s, dude. But he always wears flip-flops and cargo shorts.
Fire.
And like an old coaching shirt. That's all he wears. And his toes are like his toenails are like brown and like black. Fucking nasty.
Thank you for that. Now I have that in my head. A
nice little visual for you. That's my dad.
Shout out your dad.
Thanks, Sean.
Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of I Had No Idea, presented by Landlocked Entertainment. Thank you so much, girl, for coming on. This has been an amazing talk. What?
Said girl.
And we're not supposed to say girl?
No, I get it.
But people call you what's your nickname? Because people have a nickname for you, right?
I have couple different nicknames.
Oh. What's your preferred nickname?
I think Shy.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Do you like Shy?
Yeah.
Shout out Shy. Because I was like, I know there's a nickname for you. And I was trying to think of it.
My family calls me Boo. B-O-O. Because I was a surprise.
Oh, that's kind of funny then.
Call me Boobaloo.
That's funny.
Anyways.
If you guys have anything you want to ask, always leave it in the comments below. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Kind of just because you want to shout anything out?
Comment down below what color of hair I should do next. I think I'm going to do pink with black tips. I don't know yet.
Oh, that'd be dope.
So comment down below.
See y'all in the next one.
Bye.